Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 5 of the Free Money Challenge. This is a challenge where I started out by taking cans and bottles in, getting the refunds for those, which in my case means free money because otherwise that would have went in the trash and money would have just been gone. So we take this money, we go to thrift stores, and we buy items that we can flip online for a profit. And this is the 5th episode. It may come out a little late, but it's the 5th episode. And in the last episode, I told you we had a couple of sales for this week already. So let me get the camera turned around and I'll show you exactly where we're at. Here we go. We put these two items, get you some light on them here. Lighting in my shop for videos is not the greatest, but these are uranium glass, slag glass, made by Acro Agate, and they're lamp parts. I think it was episode 2 or 3 where we found this partial lamp post, and we salvaged these two pieces of glass and we put them up for auction. And the auction ended a couple of days ago, and they sold for $84 plus shipping. We also sold that VHS copy of Jackass. Now that's already shipped, so I can't show it to you. And then after this past week, we went shopping on a pretty good budget, and by the time we got finished, we were at $12.58 to the good right now. So let me get this packaged up and ready to go to the new owner. I'll sit down and do the math, and I'll show you what we're working with in this episode. Be right back. Okay, folks, I did the math. By the time we took out eBay's fees, the shipping and all of that, and we took 30% and set aside for taxes out of the profit, and then added our buy cost back in, because that goes right back into the bank account, and we added the leftover budget from last week, we are left with a new budget of $70.58. So that's what we got to work with in this episode. And I'll see you at the thrift store or the antique store if we get time. So come along and let's see what we can find. Hey folks, my schedule is all kind of messed up. Getting ready to leave town. Decided to go ahead and come to the bottle drop and get rid of all the cans and bottles instead of leaving them in the house while I'm gone. So we are going to add to our budget. When last we talked about the budget, we had $70.58 to spend. We just dropped off $10.60 worth of cans and bottles. That brings our budget up to $81.18. So yeah, we got a pretty good budget, and we might be spending some of that while we're out on this road trip. I'm not sure yet. But well, one way or the other, the next clip you should see me finding something good for the challenge. So stick around and we'll get to it. All right, folks. It's actually been a little over a week since we filmed for this particular video. I had to run out to Nebraska and help some family members with some things. And I've been here in my local Goodwill for a couple of hours, just circling, waiting on new carts to come out and looking through stuff. It's been kind of difficult because this place was more crowded today than I believe I've ever seen it. But after a couple of hours, this bag of vintage and antique metal pieces, mantiques, whatever you want to call it. There's old vintage lighters in there. There's old military buttons, old machinist tools, all kind of neat stuff in there for $12.79, and I'm going to get a 10% discount on that. So we're going to take it home. We're going to buy it and take it home. We're going to dig through it and research each piece. And hopefully we got something we can use towards our challenge. I'll let you know shortly. I'm getting to the point where I would even resort back to the old tried and true printer ink. Unfortunately, they've got this one priced up, and the expiration date was May of 24, so it's a year, more than a year out of date. And for $16, I just don't think it'll be worth it, but we'll look it up real quick to see. Okay, folks, we got that baggie full of mantiques, I call them, back to the shop, and we went through it, and there were quite a few things in there that were really good. Only 2 or 3 that were bad. There were a couple of broken pocket knives. In fact, I threw 2 of them away. This one is really old. Get you in a little better light. I haven't cleaned it up to see who made it. It's got really bad condition issues. The handle scales are chipped and breaking and peeling. And the blades are all rusted up. Not really worth selling. So, but I can't bring myself to throw it away. So into a drawer it goes somewhere. Maybe my daughter or one of my grandkids eventually will sell it at a garage sale or something. As for the rest of this stuff, these are trommel points. They're made by Stanley. They're very old, and they would be clamped onto a beam and used to scribe or mark out a curve or even a complete circle. We've got a vintage lighter that is brass and is a advertising piece. This is an old ever-dry match safe. When I was a kid, I always had one of these. They were either in my tackle box when I was fishing, or if I was camping, they were in my pocket. We've got an old Good Luck penny. This is a wheat penny from 1947. Let me see if I can read it for you. It's from Sherman Oaks, California, for the Howard Hugo Company, an insurance company, I guess. But these can bring a few bucks. Then we have this old compact. It's gold filled. It's going to need to be polished. It's kind of scratched up. And the mirror, I'm hoping we can get that clean. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. These can bring a few bucks. And then we got this old fancy vintage or antique pencil sharpener. And then we have a set of World War II military Great Seal brass buttons with some other buttons all on a string. And these can be good. They're not great. Nothing on the table is great except this piece. This is an antique boxwood, hand carved with a thistle design on it, and it's a butter stamp. You'd make your butter, and then you would stamp the thistle on there. And if memory serves, that was a mark of quality, that you knew you were getting really good butter. But these, during my research, I found that they can be anywhere from $30 or $40 on up to well over $100. I have no idea. So what we might do with this one is run it on auction. I need to start doing more auctions. But yeah, there will be links to everything we've posted or listed in the description of the video. And we still got a lot of that $80-something to spend. We only spent $11 and some change on this. So we've probably got another $65, $70 worth of our budget to go try and find some more stuff to buy and flip online for a profit. So let's get out there and go see if we can find some good stuff to sell. All right, folks, we are on to the next one. We struck out here in my local Medford Goodwill. Not completely, just for our challenge purposes. I did pick up a really nice glass vase. It's not good for our challenge, but it will be great for my Knickknacks live sales. And I also picked up one of these squiggly light bulbs. And I'm going to use this in the shop to help me identify and take pictures of neodymium glass. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's pretty cool. It's a color change glass, depending on what kind of light it's in. And for testing, the best thing in the world to test for neodymium is these squiggle lamp bulbs. And for a couple of bucks, I'll buy it. So let's get on to the next one. We are in the second Goodwill since the last little clip. One just before this was a bust. But this might be something. We're going to put it in a cart and look it up. Old school telephones can be good. Let's go down here and see what we can find. Not even sure what that is unless it's a, I believe that's going to be a slide projector. Ooh. Those lamps are nice, if for no other reason than it's got all the crystals on them. but I'm not paying $20 a piece for them. Electronics are some of my favorite things to sell. There's a Nissan radio, but it's untested. I don't have the stuff to hook power to one of these things and test it. Not even sure what that is. Looks like a glass globe, probably a light of some kind. I'm not interested. Some old radios, bunches of lampshades. Where were those when I needed them a couple of months ago? No VCRs, no DVD recorders. All right, I'll see if I find something else. I was just about to look this up when I noticed it didn't have the cord that connects the handpiece to the rest of it. And I look right there in the hole. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not, but all the wiring inside it is really mangled, so we're gonna put that back. All right, folks, we have absolutely been striking out at our regular Goodwills. Not coming away completely empty-handed. We found a few things here and there for my live sales, but nothing for our free money challenge. So I've brought you someplace new. We are at the Goodwill outlet, AKA the bins. And the last time I was here, I found some great stuff. Found Fenton, found a new old stock CRT TV, electronics, you name it, it was here. I made a great haul. So we're going to see if that luck carries over. We're going to go in here, and the goal is to get 30 pounds. And the reason we're getting 30 pounds is because once you hit 30 pounds at this particular Goodwill outlet bins, is the price goes down to 99 cents a pound, which would put us spending 30 bucks, which is less than half of our current budget of around 70 bucks. So let's get in there and see if we can find something to flip online for a profit. I'll see you in there. All right, y'all. I spent $34 in there. A lot of it is supplies, like the old towels and stuff. I use them for rags out in the shop. Some of the VHS, these are blank VHSs. I lot those up together with VCRs and combo units that I sell. This is a bag full of electronics. A lot of it is RCA cables. So what I'm going to have to do is get this stuff home and sort out the listable stuff and weigh that up, and however many pounds we got, that's how many dollars we spent. I would stay for another rotation here. It's only 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but they have not even started in the back filling up new bins. And they started closing here at 4 p.m. So I know what's going to happen. They're going to wait till right at the end of the day to do a rotation. And then they're going to give us 30 minutes to go through it. And there is a massive crowd in there. And I am just not going to join a fight to get to the stuff they're going to bring out right at the end of the day. I think we did okay. Okay, folks, we got everything from the bins back to the shop. We got the stuff that we're going to list separated from all the stuff we're just going to keep for supplies to use around the shop. And here's what we ended up with. We ended up with 5 pairs of jeans, a jacket, a flannel shirt, a Carhartt's scrub top, a Tweety Bird scrub top, a bunch of electronics. I love the remote controls. They are easy to test, easy to clean, easy to list, easy to ship, and they were cheap at 59 cents a pound. They basically weigh about 4 ounces a piece. This one is even less. Here's a little thing if you don't know. Electric blanket controls work good as a listing. You guys have probably heard me talk about bread machine paddles before. When you find these at the bins, it's normally inside the machine. Take a picture of this next to the label on the machine that gives you the model number and the name. And these can bring anywhere from $5 or $6 all the way up to 20 bucks, thereabouts. But on average, they sell about 10 bucks a pop. And these are old circuit boards, RAM, memory, whatever. I'm not a computer expert, I don't know. But what I do know is there are people out there who enjoy recovering the gold from these. There is not much gold on these. Those little pins right there, those little fingers, those each have a gold foil on them. And some of them even have some gold circuitry. There's a little over a pound of these here. I have no idea what we're going to get for them. We'll throw them online though and see what we can get. And then we had a Star Wars Lego pamphlet. That might bring a few bucks. I haven't researched it yet, but here's a cool find. This is a Muscle Man. These are very nostalgic and they're very sought after. They do better in lots, but anywhere from $5 to $10 for that. This guy, I looked him up quickly and it looked like they're selling for anywhere from $20 to $30, but I think this one might be broke. If it is, we won't list it. It'll just go into a box and given to the young man across the street. He's a, I don't know, 4, 5, 6-year-old kid, and I'm always giving him boxes of toys that I don't list. Then we have the media. Media cost me 25 cents a piece now out there. Some VHS. You guys know I love my VHS. Nothing fantastic here, but they're good titles and they make good listings. And I just enjoy the heck out of selling VHS because I get it cheap. This one is kind of weird. I saw some excellent comps for it out there. I'm not sure I'm going to list it though. It's kind of controversial cover. We'll throw it up and hope they don't pull it and give us a strike on our account, but hopefully not. There's a couple others listed. I haven't seen any sold. The 2 that are listed are listed really high. We'll throw this one up below those 2 high ones and see what we can do. Shout out to Tendo. If you know, you know. Found this at the bins and it is new sealed. Not the greatest pickup, but again, new sealed. And this guy, it has pretty good comps, and believe it or not, Christmas time is right around the corner, so we'll get that listed up. As far as how much all of this cost me, I'll get back to you here shortly. After I work on the books, I got to weigh all this stuff. Like all the electronics were 59 cents a pound. The clothing and hard goods were 99 cents a pound. And again, the media was 25 cents a piece. So let me do the math on all of this and I'll be right back with you to let you know where we ended up with our budget. And also the links to everything that we're putting up online for this week's video will be down in the description. So take a look if you're interested in any of this stuff or you just want to follow it and see how it does. So, all right. Thank you guys, and I'll be right back. Folks, here's our budget. Last week we left off with $70.58. We added a little to it with some bottles for another $10.60. Brought our budget up to $81.18. And 2 of the trips where we actually found stuff to buy and bring home for this challenge cost us $24.22, leaving us a total of $56.96 to wrap over into next week's budget. And I'm going to go to work right now getting all of this stuff listed. And by the time this video comes out, it should all be listed. And hopefully we'll get some sales off of it. And then we will see you in the next one. Thanks for coming along with me on this journey. I know it's been a little hectic with me leaving town and making so many stops at places where we just left empty-handed. But I really appreciate you sticking with me. And we'll see you next week. Until then, have fun and y'all come back now. You hear? Hey folks, I just wanted to make another outro for this video because I made a few mistakes. So a couple of the items aren't worth what I thought they were. The comps I saw out in the field didn't match the comps I found when I took a closer look here at the house while trying to list some of this stuff. Notably, the VHS tape that I had a controversial cover on it. It turns out that it's not worth anything, so I'm not going to post that. I was having reservations about posting it anyway. The little Muscle Man toy figurine is not one of them that's worth more than a couple of bucks. They do better when they're lotted up, so I'll save that for later. The little Pokemon looking toy, it was broke, so we didn't list that. And a couple of pieces of the electronics didn't pass test, so that didn't pan out, didn't list it. So it kind of affected our numbers, but only a couple of pennies per lot, so, or per item. And a couple of these items have already sold, so you're going to have to wait until next week's video to see what sold and for how much. So I'll see you on the next one. You guys have fun. Get out there and find you some treasure. And y'all come back now, you hear?